You do like Jaffa cakes, but you can't eat them anymore.
No, I found out they have eggs.
Well, what British snacks can you... Snacks? What British... what snacks can you eat?
3, 2, 1.
Action! Ow! That really hurt. Basically, like who you are, where you're from, and why London.
My name is Sonaili. I was born and raised in Kenya. And why London? I feel like that's such a big question. So I moved to London, how many years ago? 4 years ago. It'll be 5 this year. For me, it was just kind of a natural progression. So I moved to the UK for uni, lived in Brighton for 3 years, and then I obviously do journalism, and I was like, well, London's the next big thing I should try and tackle. And also I wanted to do my master's here, and then I just kind of stayed on. And then also during my tween years, I kind of was like 11, 12, I lived in London for a bit as well. So for me, when I was choosing a place to go to for uni, I was like, it has to be somewhere in the UK and then London. And also I didn't want to start with London when I moved to the UK, because like London's so overwhelming for like, you know, this 18-year-old who just like moved like home completely. So London.
So you went for Brighton first?
Yeah. I'd never even been to Brighton. I was just like, I just looked at pictures and, you know, read up about the uni I was going to, and I was like, okay, that sounds like a bit of me. So
And then you thought, oh, it's a Pebble Beach, best leave.
yeah. No, I was shocked. I'd generally never seen a Pebble Beach before.
It's disappointing.
Yeah, in Kenya, like we have very beautiful, like white sandy beaches, and so Brighton was like, oh.
Whereabouts are you from in Kenya?
Nairobi.
Well, when I think of a city, I think there are so many different types, but the sort of fast-pacedness of a city tends to flow through wherever you go.
I think it depends where you are in Nairobi. If you're in the city centre, or what we call the CBD, which is the Central Business District.
The CBD?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very, very hectic, very, very busy. There's so much happening. But if you come to more sort of the suburban areas, it's a little bit slower. You know, people are taking their time to get to places and stuff. So I guess it's a little bit like London.
Is it bigger than London or smaller than London? I don't even know.
I think it's bigger, smaller. I don't know. I need to look this up.
Or Google it afterwards.
Yeah.
So you moved from Nairobi to Brighton.
Yeah.
Then you saw London as this big sort of like... I don't know why I thought the word boulder. That's not it. A big black hole. No, you saw it as this sort of big thing to tackle.
Yeah, kind of. Because I remember, like, I just knew that I'd just be so overwhelmed. Because also when I was coming to uni, I knew that, you know, there's 2 different types of unis. There's a campus uni, there's a city uni. And I was like, I do not want to go to a city uni. I'd come during my A-levels to kind of have a look around at different unis in the UK. Been to city and campus unis. And I was like, I do not want to be in a place that's just so hustle bustle. The buildings are everywhere. And I just feel like it would have been so overwhelming. So I took the gradual move to London route instead.
God, I'm the opposite. I wanted to go to a city uni. I felt like a campus uni was quite daunting because you've just got this big world that is uni rather than it being sort of integrated within different cities. Yeah. Yes, that was why I went to Bristol. Anyway, enough about me.
I've heard good things.
Good things about Bristol.
Yeah, well, my brother went to Bristol, so yeah.
Good vibe. Yeah. Somerset and all of that. Is my best West Country accent. And that's the only thing I can say.
Just that one word.
Summers and all right, my lover.
Kind of sound like a pirate.
Yes, that is what they say they sound like, right?
Yeah, that is true.
Your accent's quite English.
Yeah.
Is that something that you've always had?
No, so when I was young, the first languages I was sort of introduced to was English.
Right.
Because my parents and just family spoke it around me quite a bit. Gujarati, which is my mother tongue.
Right.
And then bits and pieces of Swahili as well. So I kind of grew up like with 3 languages all together at once. So when I first started going to school, actually, I had a very strong, thick Kenyan accent. So like I was watching home videos a couple of weeks ago, and it's specifically from this one Kenyan tribe called the Kikuyu tribe. And so basically, yeah, I just spoke like them because all my teachers were Kikuyu.
Have you lost it completely now?
Yeah. No,
Can you do it or no?
No, I don't know. I feel like that would be very controversial.
Oh, right. Okay.
I mean, I can, but I'm not going to. Then after obviously moving here during my teenage years and then going back, it was sort of like also influenced, my accent was influenced a lot by American media because I grew up watching that. Then moved here, started listening to people around me speak, then moved back. So it was like just like hot pot or like different accents. But now I think after living here for about 8 years, I've just like sort of picked it up, and I code switch a lot.
Oh my God, me
so
too.
yeah, I was with a friend a few days ago, and then I got a phone call from home, and it was so funny because I immediately just switched into like this weird Kenyan accent. No, it's not weird, but like it's like this Kenyan accent that I have.
It's called speech accommodation, isn't it? So
Yeah.
you sort of, I do that a lot, where whoever I'm speaking to, I tend to like acclimatise to how they're speaking. I get you.
Yeah, code switching. So yeah, just immediately I can switch back and forth. And also, if I went home and spoke like this, I would get made fun of.
Really?
Yeah, 'cause
That's
people
not the
are like-
first time someone said that.
Yeah, they would say something along the lines of, "Oh, so you've changed. I see how it is." And I'm like, so even if like now I'm used to speaking like this, when I go home, I try and avoid speaking like this.
You de-anglify yourself,
Yeah.
if that's
Yeah.
even a thing, but I've
Yeah.
made it up today. In terms of major differences between Nairobi and London, would you say there are any major differences or similarities, things that make you think, this makes me think of home, or not?
One thing that Nairobi has, and London sort of does to an extent as well, if you go to more sort of suburban areas, is sense of community. In Nairobi, like everyone knows everyone. You can't go to like a mall or something without bumping into someone that you know. It's a little bit strange. It's like a micro community. And so everyone has each other's backs and stuff, which is great. And also in London, I feel like you really have to put in the time and effort to like form that sense of community. That's something that I've noticed. But then also it comes with a side thing of it can get quite toxic where everyone's all up in everyone's business. Everyone knows what everyone's doing. People are trying to one-up each other all the time. That's in Nairobi. Whereas here I feel like, people are just minding their own business, doing their own thing. And that's great.
Too busy just staring at their own abyss on the tube or on the bus or something.
Yeah. It's a good thing and a bad thing, I feel like you should look out for other people around you. But also like, just everyone's head down, minding their own business.
There's levels. It sounds like a more small town vibe than a city vibe.
Yeah. Obviously, it does have its city vibes, especially when you're going to the central sort of areas. Maybe just because I grew up in the suburban areas that it's a little bit like that.
In terms of like food,
Yes.
I don't really know much about Kenyan food. That's it. I don't really have a question. Is that what would constitute Kenyan culinary stuff?
It's like a mixture of different cuisines like sort of coming together. Kenyan food has like a heavy inspiration from South Asian. It's very flavorful, it's very, spicy a little bit, but also not. Some people who are native Black Kenyan, they don't really like spice. So it depends and it varies. But Kenyan food is great.
Do you miss it?
Yeah. I don't know why. I've just been like craving Kenyan food. We have something called chapati, which is like kind of brought over from South Asia, but like Kenyans just have a way of making it just like so flaky and so good. And then we have something called ugali, which is made out of maize flour. There's like other stuff, but also I'm vegetarian. So like there's a lot of stuff that I can't eat as well. There's something called nyama choma, which is like slow cooked meat. It apparently is supposed to be really good. It's like spiced and herbed really well. But anyways, sorry, I went off on a tangent.
I mean, I'll try it. If you can't try it, but you've sold it, so.
Yeah, and I found a Kenyan restaurant in North London, so I'm like, I need to.
What's the name? Do you remember?
I think it's called like Kenyan cuisine. It's very Kenyan kitchen or
To the
something
point.
like that. Yeah,
To the point.
Very to the point. I think it's called Kenyan kitchen.
In London, there's so much culture and there's so many different types of food, but for some reason I haven't come across Kenyan cuisine. I've come across Ethiopian cuisine, I've come across different African, Nigerian tapas I've had, all of these sort of mix of local dishes from a particular place, but then going, people like tapas now, and therefore... But I never really came across Kenyan stuff, so North London is where to go, apparently.
Yeah. There's quite a few Kenyans that stay in North London. I know another place that there's loads of Kenyans is Northwest London, but that's also the Kenyan Indians, but they tend to have food that's very Kenyan as well, because there's like this Kenyan Indian snack called chevra, which they sell like in packets, they import it. It's great. But North London, I've heard there's like big Kenyan communities.
Well, you got me Lindor, which isn't...
I was gonna bring you Kenyan tea, but I was like, I forgot.
Well, I don't know if you've ever seen like those Lindor adverts where you've got the woman like putting the chocolate really slowly in her mouth. That's what I think of whenever I think of Lindor, like Lindor.
Yeah, no, Linda's great.
I don't have this, so this is good. And also, I got you Jaffa cakes, and then you told me that you don't eat eggs, and I never even thought about the fact that it's got egg in it. You do like Jaffa cakes, but you can't eat them anymore.
No, I found out they have eggs.
Well, more for me then. Never mind. What British snacks can you... Snacks? What British... What snacks can you eat?
What's a staple British snack? I'm trying to think. I should know this.
I had some knickknacks the other day.
Oh, knickknacks are good.
They can be spicy. Or Marmite, depending on what you like.
Marmite, I think. Yeah.
Really? Are you into Marmite?
Yeah, I think it's decent.
I'm into Vegemite, as you can see from my Vegemite pencil holder there. It's far superior to me because I've been to Australia and I've seen how the other half lives. Marmite, swipe right.
Yeah.
Swipe right on Marmite. What's it? Not a fan.
Oh, I was going to say, I love what's it.
Not a fan. Nothing sort of like overpoweringly cheesy. No. No.
Yeah, love me some what's it.
Absolutely not. Hula hoops.
Love hula hoops. Oh, do you know what? They've recently released like this barbecue hula hoops. They're so good.
I thought they'd already had barbecue flavoured hula hoops.
Yeah, I don't know if it's recently, but
You've just discovered recently that they have barbecue
yes,
flavoured
I've
hula
just discovered recently. Oh, they're so good.
When I was a kid, I used to always put them on my
Yep,
finger.
same.
I don't know if it's okay as an adult to do it.
Sometimes you just need to bring out that inner child, so I think you should do it.
I always thought that if you came here, you'd be a bit more like a therapist than a guest, which is nice. I like that.
Okay.
I need to speak to my inner child more.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying. When you moved here, because you were what, 18?
Yes.
18?
Yeah.
How old are you now?
25.
Okay. I imagine you remember a little bit about when you moved here. It wasn't too long ago. Did you notice a sort of key difference between English people and Kenyan people?
One thing I remember noticing was how friendly Kenyan people were as opposed to British people. Yeah, Kenyan people are very much like straight to the point, but they also love like chatting, both. Yep,
Chapping. Love it.
Yeah, they love chatting, they love yapping. British people, you know, it's all about small talk. And then you have to slowly warm up to it, which I kind of appreciate. Because when someone meets me for the first time, I'm not very Kenyan. Like, I'm very quiet, very observant. I'm like sussing people out. So, can I vibe with you?
Does the quiet observant you associate with English people?
Kind of, but also I feel like English people, they're not quiet, they're not observant. Once you get to know them a little bit more, obviously, they just start with small talk, like, oh, what's the weather like outside, you know? Like Kenyan people straight away, like, oh, what did you do last night? How are you? Like, you know, that kind of thing.
Straight into it.
Yep.
It is actually a weird sickness. I don't know how to stop it. Like, I don't know how to not talk about the weather
Yeah,
first thing.
exactly. It's a good conversation starter, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, it's been so cold for the past 6 months. It starts the conversation.
Yeah.
So a bit more friendly in Kenya.
Yeah, also hospitality-wise. Kenyan people just are so hospitable. Like, literally, like, you could meet someone on the road and then they'll be like, oh, come around for tea. And you just go around and they whip out snacks. Also, like, coming back to the food thing, there's a massive culture of just food and hosting and, like, having a good time around food. They'll go out of your way to make sure that, like, you know, the guest is welcome and, like, comfortable and everything.
Yeah, I suppose with British culture, it's more about if there is going to be a communal thing, it's going to be around drinks.
Yeah. I mean, Kenyan people have that too. Oh my God, Kenyan people drink a lot.
What's the choice of drink?
Usually, well, if you are going to Kenya, if you were to visit, I've heard people say that there's this beer called Tusker. Yeah, it's quite popular. It's like got this logo of like an elephant on it.
Oh, like a tusk?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was thinking Tuscany. I don't know why. A nights out in Nairobi, fun. But you were quite young when you moved.
If you are going to Kenya and you are in Nairobi, you have to experience Nairobi nightlife.
And it's a lot warmer over there.
Exactly. Oh my God. The weather is... Oh, I've been missing it. Because it's just perfect temperature. It's not hot. It's not cold. Obviously, we do have our rainy seasons every now and then. But the average temperature is 25, 27 degrees. Warm.
That's too hot.
Well, what? Really?
No, but it is the kind of thing where
but
once you get past 22, you're like, well, for me, I'm like, oh no.
But here's the thing. It's not British hot.
Yes.
It's dry heat with a little bit of a breeze every now and then, which is perfect. There's people who've visited Kenya and then like fallen in love with how great the weather is and then just move there because of the weather.
I would not mind having a night out in Nairobi. It sounds like a great alliteration there. I would.
Yeah.
I would. How much do you think being in the UK has influenced who you are as a person now?
That's a very...
Like, are there any sort of Britishisms that you've definitely thought, okay, I've picked this up. If I was still in Nairobi, I definitely wouldn't have this.
Small talk. But then also just in general, moving at a very fast pace. I don't know, maybe like this is coming from a little bit of a place of privilege living in Nairobi, but Nairobi life can sometimes be a little bit slow, especially in London. You you know, constantly on the move. That's like a little mannerism I've like picked up. I like walking fast and I appreciate it. And I go back home and people are doing things slowly. I'm like, hurry up.
Do you walk with a purpose now?
Yeah.
I've started to slow down. Reaching near 30, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to slow down. I might be late for work, but you know what? I'm just going to take it slow.
Appreciate the commute.
I don't know, just appreciate not having to
Smell the
walk
roses,
fast.
yeah.
I used to walk fast. You'll get over it, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
In due time, go back to how I was before I moved here.
Do you often go back to Nairobi to see family, or do they come here?
So they come here every now and then. My siblings have moved away now. They're in Australia, so I can't really see them that often.
I feel you.
Yeah.
My sister lives in New Zealand, so...
No. I know, I feel like a part of me is like, should I do it? Like, move there? Go and see them? And just, like, live with them? I'm, like, having so much FOMO because, like, 2 of them are together at the moment. And I'm like... But anyways, no, they come here every now and then. And I go home maybe once every 2 years. But I want to try and reduce it.
You're weaning yourself off.
Yeah, because Nairobi's a place which has changed so much of the past couple of years. Like, it's not the same place I grew up with. There's, like, new buildings, new places, new things to do, which is great. But I feel like that element of nostalgia is, like, slowly wearing off.
For some reason, for me, my parents live, like, just further up North London. But going back there, I don't particularly like doing it. I don't know why. It feels like a little bit of a regression in some way.
No, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
It's like you're going to the same, you know, roads and stuff that you went to, like, school to.
Well, when I went to school a bit further out, but I avoid that place like the plague.
Yeah, no, same.
It's like a part of my past that I'm like, maybe I should go to a therapist.
It's all coming out now.
So what's the moral of the story? The moral of the story is therapy, really.
Therapy is great.
Whether you're in Kenya or the UK.
Yeah. Kenya's different in the sense that I don't think many people go to therapy. I think people just drink their sorrows away.
Well, people do that here too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone has their ways of like...
Their vices.
Yeah.
It was nice seeing you.
It was nice seeing you too. Thanks for
Yes.
having me.
Yes, and thank you for the Lindor, and I'm sorry about the Jaffa cakes.
No, it's fine. Once I make a trip to Northwest London, I'll bring you Kenyan snacks.
You go to Northwest just to get the snacks.
And food.
The snacks and food.
Yeah.
This has been Sam and
Sonaili,
who
misses Kenyan food.
very badly.
I do.
Yeah, well, if you don't go to Northwest London, you could just go back to Nairobi, get a big care package.
Yeah.
I don't really know how that would work for like
No.
fresh food.
I saw this TikTok business that's delivering food from Bristol, so I don't know how that's gonna work, but I'm gonna try it out.
I mean,
I'll let you know.
where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, come round.
Yeah. Will do.
Some Kenyan food.
I get invites through this. This is the end of this, and hope you enjoyed, and hope you enjoyed.
I did.
And I did. See you soon, and thanks for watching, and I'm glad that you're here.
Thanks for having me.
It was great for me to have speaking with you. Wait, that wasn't English. It was great for you to come over onto my couch.
Thanks for having me.
Why can't I say it properly?